Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today I'm going to give you my first impressions of Deathpool. This is the second Marvel Strike Force Scopal Next featured character, unique character, and this one's more tied to the comics than Kestrel was, which I think is a cool thing. There's a video, you could check it out in the blog that just came out today. This is August 6th, that kind of talks a little bit about this character. One interesting thing from the video that you might miss if you don't look very closely is that we did get our first glimpse of teal gear, and this is the enemy Doom, which is teal gear, but also level 90 and 6 red stars. What this tells me is not a bad idea to cap out those or keep a load of dark promotion credits just in case they allow us to upgrade Doom soon, because I don't know about you, I'd love to have a 6 red star Doom myself. But back to Deathpool here for a second. I want to talk about her kit. And one thing I will just say, there have been some rumors flying around about the new characters in this patch and talking about not only Deathpool, but also Cloak, Dagger, and Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi being the last member of Heroes for Hire. And then Deathpool joining together with Cloak and Dagger to be new warriors, which are essentially a new Mystic rating team. And those rumors are at least partially confirmed by this kit. So this new warriors team looks to be a Mystic rating team. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 3-piece team, a 3-member team, just like Secret Avengers was. One interesting thing is it's another cosmic hero, and we are getting tons and tons and tons of cosmic heroes lately. If you think about it, back when I was in DD4 in December, trudging my way through, I was using characters like Thanos and Proxima to get through Cosmic. It was pretty brutal. I was excited when Longshot got released because I brought him up. But since then, not only do we have, let's say, the Dad Bros that are Cosmic heroes, we have all of Infinity Watcher Cosmic. We have Silver Surfer's Cosmic, Kestrel's Cosmic, and now we have a new Cosmic hero who, by the way, is going to be fantastic in Dark Dimension. All right, so let's go right to the passive and start with that. And, this is how this is supposed to be a raid team. All the stuff is just in raids. But outside of raids even, on enemy death, heal self for 10% of max health and attack the most injured enemy for 300% damage and clear 3 positive effects. I mean, that is awesome, awesome, awesome. And that's this out of turn attack is, very powerful stuff. Here, of course, it is, whenever an enemy dies, so it's got an ability to sort of spiral out of control when there are enemy deaths. So what you want to do is get that train rolling so that this way you can, quickly get some other enemies killed. So I think this is a very powerful ability on its own. But the power creep that we've been seeing recently in the game is really up to a new level because this character looks to be vaguely in that super power creep category like a Kestrel or Silver Surfer, somewhere in that range, which is pretty insane. This is just the event character for the new August patch, right? And here we go. We have it's an absurd level of power creep. This kind of continues the trend of making a lot of the older characters in this game, I wouldn't say worthless, but much less valuable. All right, let's look about in raids. What happens in raids? So in raids, on spawn, this character gains +1 charge up to a maximum of 5. We're going to get back to that later. It's very important. On spawn, this character gets 10% speed bar plus 5% for each Mystic ally. So that's a total of 30% speed bar, which essentially is going to let this character go first much of the time. And this is going to be, so in raids, on the Mystic nodes of the Doom raid, and either 1 or 2, because they told us that the Doom Raid 2 is going to have the same breakdown. That is, that's going to be very nice to have this character be able to go first. On enemy death, generate 1 ability energy for 2 random Mystic allies or self. Now, I just want to say that to give you a sense of how big the power creep is here, Thanos, before he was empowered, an unempowered Thanos. The only reason we bring him to raids is because of this. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, he has a lot of health. But even with that, he has so low armor that he kind of gets beaten up and dies fairly quickly. But it's on death of an enemy, he generates 2 ability energy. It's that generation. And this, by the way, is with a T4. Without the T4, he doesn't even have the 100%. Now it's adjacent, so that could be valuable in some situations. Although, it may be in some situations more valuable to have this. But in any event, one line in the kit. Now, obviously, this is in raids only, but just one line is the entire value for the most part of the Thanos character. Whereas here, there's so much more to the character, right? Gaining 5% drain per charge. Mystic allies gain 10% drain. Drain's so powerful. You can see that with the symbiotes or other characters like Infinity Watch that have drain. Basically taking enemy health, turning that into healing for you. Very powerful mechanic. Gives health to the rest of the team. I'm sure there'll be a T4 in there at some point. Now let's go to the basic. This is right up there as one of the best basics in the game. Clears all negative effects on the basic. The only other example of that we really have is Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer clears negative effects by transferring them to the enemy. And I've long said that was the best basic in the game. And here you go. You have a rival for that. This clears all negative effects. And this is the Deathpool passive. For regular Deathpool, if negative effects are removed, heal self for 5% per negative effect. Sort of like also the Kestrel passive. Heal self for 10% of max health on the basic. And then attack primary and adjacent targets and clear death proof. This is sort of a bit of Hela's kit. The clearing of death proofs, which can be very helpful, by the way, for example, against Heroes for Hire or Infinity Watch. Flip stealth and speed up on primary and adjacent targets. Targets could be useful against certain teams. That's more niche, more situational. If the enemy is a minion, attack that enemy for 600% damage instead. So this is almost like a Zemo type thing, right? Just destroy minions, and this attack's unblockable. You go to the special. Now this is a long cooldown, but super powerful ability. Transfer all negative effects from this character to the primary target. So yet another cleanse, but this is putting them on the opponent. This is just like the Surfer basic. You attack the primary and adjacent targets, and then you have a health steal, 10% from primary and adjacent targets, and redistribute to all Mystic allies. This means this alone would make this character a very interesting choice in Dark Dimension. We know health steal is so important in Dark Dimension because the enemies have such high health. So if the enemy's got 1,000,000 health and you steal 10%, that's 100K, right? Or whatever. So, this is health steal is always important in Dark Dimension. And then you have this another Hela-esque kind of ability, which makes sense. She's sort of a goddess of death, right? Kind of character. Spread all negative effects from the primary target to all adjacent targets. This will not spread stun. Or another way of looking at it is like Venom, right? Venom also has that ability, very powerful, important ability. 5-turn ability, but of course, in the meantime, between the alt, which we're going to get to in the basic, you're going to have other powerful abilities to use. But if I had to say what the defining ability is for this character, it's the ultimate. Every third turn, this character will clear death proof from a target, attack the primary target for 500% damage, and applied 2 bleed for 2 turns. So this is an ability you'll almost certainly want T4'd for the bleeds. Then you gain a charge. So if you aren't in raids where you get it, if you remember in the passive, you get a charge on spawn. These charges, they said in the video, will stay with the character between nodes. So if you're doing a bunch of nodes, let's say you're doing 3 nodes in Doom, you're going to get charges just from spawn. In each node, but you're going to get also a charge every third turn from this ability. So you should easily get up to maximum charge. And if you are at maximum charge, you attack the primary target for 20,000% piercing, which is like millions of damage. Like this is essentially a one-shot kill of any character. Piercing means it ignores armor. 20,000% damage is, no matter, even if with power creep, this is meant to be for any kind of foreseeable future a one-hit kill. It's meant to be 20,000%. You know, just to give you a sense, right? If this character's, let's say, base damage is 30,000, which it would be low, okay? And you're multiplying that by 20,000%. It's not by 20,000, it's by 20,000%. That would be like, literally, I don't even know if I'm doing the math right. Is it 60 billion, 60 million? I mean, it's ridiculous, okay? It's just a ridiculous level of damage. So I guess what I would just say is, this is meant to be a one-shot kill. And, this, I think, signals something for this game. As some of you know, I play on the side Galaxy of Heroes. And in that game, they have one-hit kill characters. And the way those characters are balanced is that those characters essentially have super long cooldowns that you can manipulate. There's a Darth Nihilus character. He's got a one-shot kill, or a new character that just came out also with a one-shot kill. And those characters, you basically have to build the cooldowns and get those cooldowns down at some point. So this is, we're starting to see in Marvel Strike Force, essentially this is our first one-shot kill kind of character where they mean to have one-shot kill. But the thing is, you're supposed to build it up over time. And there has been a character that sort of had that element to her in the past that used to be very relevant really before my time. In other words, before the time that I was playing this game seriously, and that's Storm. So back in the day when U7 was new difficult content, people would bring their Storm into the first two nodes of the raid, and they would get her charges up through basic attacks. You would get, there's no beast in the game at the time, so it was just +1 charge, and they'd get her up as many, try to get her all the way up to 15. Then they'd bring her back for a boss node and do ridiculous level damage, right? So they would do 90% times 15. And the idea of it's 1,350% damage, but it's a 10 turn cooldown, right? But they would, basically, it was like they were charging her up, and then she'd do her, massive damage. It's not a one-shot kill, but it's sort of that idea, right? And that's basically what they expect you to be doing here. The idea is you're going to, in the first couple nodes, charge up your Deathpool, have full max charges, and then bring Deathpool into the boss node and just one-shot kill Doom. All right, that's the idea. You're going to, you'll one-shot kill Doom, or whatever enemy you want with this ultimate. And that's a very, very powerful ability. It's a different mechanic than we've seen before in the game. It's certainly defining for this character. But what's interesting about this character, in my view, is that even if you didn't have this, the character would be insanely good, right? This is a character who has a cleanse on the basic and healing and all this stuff on a basic. Has a spread and cleanse and health steal on a special, and has a passive where they're giving out ability energy, and has an out of turn damage attack, right? And all this stuff. And oh yeah, by the way, there's also an insta kill. So is this the best character in the game? I don't know. Is this character in the conversation for the best character in the game? Yes. This is a top tier character. And since this is an event character, what that tells me is that if you're free to play, if you're a newer player, whatever, save up your cores for that event campaign. Use those cores to refresh the event energy so you can get this character unlocked at 5 stars maybe, if you're able to do the hard event, or at least 4 stars if you're in medium. You want as big of a death pool as you can. All right, guys, if you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel. If you have comments, questions, suggestions, put them in the comments below, or go to our Discord. Lots of great conversations there. That's linked below as well. And hey, go to our Twitch stream. That's where the videos are made, and lots of great conversations are there. I try to answer questions in real time on most weeknights.